But first, that courtroom shocker, a surprise plea in the trial of Mayor Frank Jackson's grandson.
Prosecutors dropping felony charges in exchange for Frank Q. Jackson's admitting that he assaulted an 8-year-old woman last summer. 5 on your side investigator Scott Knoll was there today as this deal was announced. He's live in the newsroom with the details.
This plea came on day 3 of Jackson's trial on felonious assault and abduction charges. A conviction on those counts could have brought an 8-year prison sentence. Instead, by pleading guilty to misdemeanor assault, Jackson was sentenced to the 8 days he spent in jail after his arrest and probation. Mayor Frank Jackson in the courtroom this afternoon, watching as his grandson, Frank Q. Jackson, admitted assaulting an 18-year-old woman last June.
I wish I would have walked away and just left the car.
Instead, witnesses say he punched, choked, and hit his accuser with a metal trailer hitch. But Jackson's defense attorney calls it a case of mutual assault.
This was, as I said months ago, a terrible case that would never have been brought were it not for who his grandfather is.
Jeffrey SAFFOLD believes the charges were politically driven. Initially, city prosecutors declined to file charges in the case, citing a lack of evidence. County prosecutors then picked it up and secured the felony indictments.
I can only say that this is a case that I don't believe otherwise would have been brought were there not outside influences. In terms of who those persons were who brought the influence to bear, that would be for you to look into.
But the prosecutor's office says politics had nothing to do with the original charges.
We don't do that. We charged based on the evidence that was before us at the time. Things unfold as they do, and you make changes or evaluations based on that, and that's what we did in this case.
Prosecutors admit after 2 days of testimony, they worried they couldn't prove Jackson committed a felony. I asked Mayor Frank Jackson if the dropping of those serious charges vindicated the city's decision not to file charges.
I think I'm happy for my grandson. Thank you.
Already on probation in Cleveland Municipal Court after pleading guilty to attempted drug abuse, menacing, and aggravated disorderly conduct last summer. It'll be up to that judge to decide what, if any, impact today's guilty plea has on that case. Live in the newsroom, I'm 5 on your side investigator Scott Knoll.